Janice, are you there?
At your service, sir.
Give me some of that dating foolishness.
Will do, sir.
So I'm standing 10 toes down on that position, and I don't really care if you're hurt or offended by it. And since some of y'all are already big mad, let me go ahead and make you incensed.
You triggered the 40-year-old independent woman, and now she doubles down on not dating bus drivers. Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. You know what we always say, women will always tell on themselves. Just ask them the right questions and let them talk long enough. This video is a great example of why highly educated people are not necessarily intelligent, and why women in general make terrible leaders, because women are emotional beings. They are short-term thinkers, and they have the tendency to take things personally. And just like Dr. Ramen Noodles, this woman takes what happened personally and makes herself look foolish in a response video.
That's a problem.
Now let's address the response to the interview and what some of y'all are calling a backlash. So let me be clear. First, I am a professional disruptor, so backlash is my business. And I will always take it on the chin for the sake of advancing the work, conversation, or movement. So know that I am completely unfazed by the onslaught of nasty comments, wishing me a sad, lonely, bitter existence until my untimely death. Now that is some weird energy to be wishing onto a black woman, especially one who has dedicated her life to the liberation of black folk. But, you know, whatever, I guess, go off.
And to make things worse, this is a lawyer. I expected her to defend herself better. Let's talk about it. Now it's time for us to get into this and do what we gotta do. Because we men, ain't we? We men, ain't we?
But Dr. Ayanla went in a different direction. She asked me a personal question. And y'all know I have been extremely transparent about the fact that my life choices and my chosen lifestyle are far outside of the norm. So when I said that I would date the bus owner, a lot of y'all heard something different. Some of you heard the following: bus drivers are whack. Bus drivers are broke. Oh, and I'm too good for a bus driver. The only thing is, y'all made that part up. See, I said what I said. But then some of y'all started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits. And that's wild, because I was never talking about money at all.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure you didn't talk about money? The foolishness of this woman is that she is on record. And to take it a step further, she herself plays the clip in which she contradicts herself.
So before I tell you my thoughts, let's replay the clip that had some of y'all deep into your feelings. I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all.
This is what you need to pay attention to, brothers. The bus driver, the profession of a man, is a distraction and a coping mechanism. She just told you that she is the common denominator when it comes to failing in every relationship she had, no matter what ethnic background the man she was dealing with had. More about this later. Her question starts with how women need to position themselves, okay? So let's show you why these educated women are not necessarily intelligent.
I do want you to speak, Ayanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
What did you say?
They are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Income, resources, and leadership. Income, that's money. You don't have to be a PhD to understand that. Now, because of what you just said, you triggered this question.
Would you date a bus driver? Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus.
See, that's no.
Oops.
But then some of y'all started talking about salaries and hourly wages, pensions and benefits. And that's wild because I was never talking about money at all.
This is embarrassing, man. And this is what she said after Dr. Van Zandt gave her answer.
I think that's a factual analysis. For whatever we want, expect, we're told we were going to get, we got to look at the numbers and what's available on the marketplace. So you're certainly not wrong in the analysis. And Yana, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. We know what you got in that prenup would never be little. It'll never be small. Child, that's a big old mound of assets. But that's okay.
Prenup, assets. This is embarrassing. She's a lawyer, and the case she is trying to make is about to explode in her face because of the need to be right.
I was talking about black ownership, but some of y'all made it about money. I'm talking about ownership, black enterprise, and entrepreneurship because really I am talking about black liberation. And if you read my book, you'll understand why.
You tell me, where in that clip did she mention ownership? Black enterprise, black liberation. Where? And who the hell is this woman for talking about reading her book? She's not doing a good job selling it. Who the hell is she? I've heard about Dr. Van Zandt, but this is the first time I see her in action. Have you noticed how a lot of modern women with PhDs tend to assume that their expertise in a specific area translates into competence in all areas of life? She has been called out on this behavior. Check this out.
I feel that, and I do feel that I might have heard on a date or two, Ayanla, that we are not in a courtroom, Ebony. You can put the gavel down, and I do feel it can spill over into the way I show up in my womanhood, which is really the center of this conversation today, Ayanla. We want to discuss masculine energy, feminine energy.
Lawyer doesn't translate into wifey, good mother, great personality. And Steve Harvey is a simp for saying the ability to bear children is all a woman has to bring to the table. Once again, who the hell is this woman for talking about reading her book? This is where you put money in the bank. This is where you show your worth. But just like Dr. Ramen Noodles, she did not clarify the contents of the clip that she played, nor did she apologize for any unintentional offense or distress caused to the viewers. No. She immediately points the finger and says, some of y'all made it about money because she's a PhD. She's educated and y'all are not on her level to understand that she was talking about ownership without even saying a word about it. How to lose credibility in 15 seconds. The foolishness. You can't make this stuff up. And she doubles down.
So I'm standing 10 toes down on that position. And I don't really care if you're hurt or offended by it. And since some of y'all are already big mad, let me go ahead and make you incensed. So out of the 50,000 plus comments posted on social, I only saw a handful that even considered the possibility of a bus owner being a more aspirational position and recognizing that I am actually speaking and pouring into the ascension of black men when I said what I said. But see, no, some of y'all were too busy naming and shaming me personally and black women in general as undesirable, gold diggers, and much worse.
She just proved our point. You just witnessed a bad attitude and it's unattractive. Look at that ego. Do you understand why these highly educated women have an even higher divorce rate? She's clearly triggered by these comments on social media. Now she's pissed off. and she claps back by adding more fuel to the fire. This is one of those so-called strong and independent women, and look how she handles this situation. Seeing her in action is a joke. In her mind, she's pouring into the ascension of black men by saying she wouldn't date a bus driver. This proves she doesn't understand how to inspire, how to motivate, how to be supportive, and how to build with a man. That's why Dr. Van Zandt checked her.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well. I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself. My son got his first job when he was 9. 9, okay? Because you're a black man, you will know how to take care of yourself. But I think the way we measure it, it's just obsolete.
It's interesting how Dr. Van Zandt has changed her tune because she learned the hard way, and that's the only way women are gonna learn. Now let's get into why women like this should be avoided at all costs.
See, I wanted to talk about how do we close the gap between black women who do show up in a so-called masculine posture, those of us that are providing and building and protecting due to circumstances that we might feel make us feel that if we don't do it for ourselves, we will have to go without the resources and protections we need to feel safe in this world.
You heard what she said, fellas. Circumstances. This classic clip from The Godfather, Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, completely destroys her argument.
I'm not saying we should have a special victim status, but our circumstance is different. We are women. We are less.
You're 24 years old. Is your circumstance harder or easier than your grandmother and your great-grandmother?
Exponentially easier. We have access to information we didn't have.
Exponentially easier, but you're handling it worse. Your grandmother and your great-grandmother actually could work with a black man with more trauma.
Because they understood that the black woman and the black man are on the same side. Now that we are all free and independent and we could do whatever we want to, why would we seek to, be one with the black man? We even think that being...
Thank you. Clip it, slice it, put it on World Star. She said it, not me.
How much proof do you need? Women choose to be independent. Just like a lot of these women are single mothers by choice. You see, this is not about feeling safe. This is not about protection. Women call the police for that. This is about lifestyle. I've done some research and she's a millionaire. She wants to protect that status and lifestyle. A bus driver cannot do that. These so-called strong and independent women still want men to pay their bills. A man brings a lot more to the table than money. If she had a man, he could have told her to shut the F up, calm the F down, and protect her from making this ridiculous response video. But she would never listen because in her mind, she is better than a bus driver. She will never respect him. Check this out.
But we don't get still. We won't shut up. And we manage.
Do you see this? She smiles because she knows this applies to her. Let's take it a step further.
And very external. I feel that you are describing me to a T, Mr. Yanla. Now, is this...
Don't get it twisted, fellas. Women are aware of the nasty attitude they have, but we are not allowed to say anything about it. We are supposed to handle it. The sisterhood knows exactly what's going on. When they come to the manosphere, they know we are speaking facts. That's why you need to put yourself first. Stay on your purpose, because these women already let you know that they're not here to cooperate with you. There is no respect, no loyalty, and love is overrated. See if she still loves you when you are broke. And here's the kicker, fellas. She's 39. She's never gonna learn. She's set in her ways. And it doesn't matter if she finds a man that makes more money than her. It's never gonna work, because she doesn't know shit about being a girlfriend.
But see, because I know the truth about black folk in America, no, average is not and will never be good enough for me. And the gag is, I don't think it's good enough for you either.
Manosphere reworking. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.